focused on. So basically what the book focuses on are Jeffrey Epstein's ties to intelligence and the history of these types of sexual blackmail operations in the United States. Because if you look at the history, it becomes really clear that Epstein was part of this larger network of sexual blackmail operations that have existed in the US since the 1920s that trace back to this national crime syndicate. Even though he was working for Israeli intelligence, the mega group is that same syndicate that's been using sexual blackmail to control politicians since the 1930s, really. And this is, the consequences of the impunity for those people, if they've been doing it since the 30s, they're doing it now. It's not something that stops with Epstein, basically. So it's really important to understand how we got to Epstein in order to understand the significance of that scandal, right? Because there are ties between this Epstein, the Epstein network. There's ties to the Franklin scandal. There's ties to the sexual blackmail operation of the White House call boys that was run by Craig Spence. In the 1980s. I mean, the ties are just very extensive, and a lot of that history has been forgotten. And I think people, need to realize how deep this goes in order for us to be able to identify where this type of behavior is really coming from. And it's coming from the fact that our intelligence agencies have been in bed with organized crime for decades and decades and decades. And us, even though intelligence agencies say that they're here to help protect us and it's about national security, they themselves operate as organized crime syndicates. The CIA is an organized criminal organization. They do drug trafficking, human trafficking, gun running, you name it. Just look at Iran-Contra. There's numerous other scandals of the CIA doing stuff like that, right? Their currency is secrecy, and it's blackmail. And it's not just the CIA that's like this. It's Mossad that's like this. It's pretty much every intelligence agency on the planet. In the US, the CIA and the intelligence apparatus in a big way is really the real government. If you look at, Kennedy and all the presidents since then, whether it's Democrat or Republican, not much changes. And that's because the real power in the US does not lie with who is president. It lies with these organized criminals that rule over us. And this is crucial to understand so that people stop buying into the left-right paradigm. It is fake. Both parties are controlled by these same people that were really behind Epstein and all of this mess. And this is who sets policy. And until people start to realize this on a massive scale, we will be just walking further and further into this nightmare that these criminals are creating for us.